Hello, welcome to another Unravelled. Look at you with your statement piece on there, Lizzie.
Oh, you were the prompt, Stuart. So you mentioned about your delicious
Yeah,
statement shirt there, and I thought I have to jump on board and give my own statement. Do you mind if I give you a quick spin?
could do it, yes.
Oh, it's a bit tight in this corner. Hang on. Can you
Oh,
see
now
it?
that I can see it, that is a statement. Oh, you are looking amazing. Tell us about the bee idea then. Was that, oh, is that a sewing
Well,
bee?
yes. So the thing is, this is when I finished sewing bee, as some people might have picked up, I just found the whole sew against the clock thing really hard. And the kaftan that I made, which was my garment of the week winner, was made in this lovely bamboo silk. And Ray Stitch supplied that bamboo silk. And after I was on the beat, they said, "Would you like to come in, choose some fabric, and do a make?" So I went in and I of the bamboo silk, which this is,
Oh,
and see, it's got that lovely shine to it. But it's basically like a bamboo viscose. It's got a lovely drape to it, and I chose
oh,
this lovely, slightly
stop.
gold.
That's a statement in
It's
itself.
I know, and I spent about maybe a year. Oh,
Oh,
we've got
hello.
someone who wants to come and say hello. Come on, lovely.
Who is this adorable young man?
Look, who's this? Look.
Ooh,
It's
my heart is just
lovely.
burst. How much
Oh
fur
my
has he
God,
got? Who's this? Tell us his name.
he's so delicious. Oh, lovely. Off he goes. Um, that was it's quite rare he jumps up like that. Anyway, so I just took about probably about a year to get around to making this, but it's the jacket itself is actually sewn on the machine, but all the quilting is done by
Oh,
hand. You see, it's got little knots,
yeah.
and I just felt like it was and with the little bee on the back, I just felt like it was a Lizzie answer to sewing, having to sew against the clock like that. Just slow down, take your time, enjoy every stitch,
Yeah.
and
Oh,
yeah.
I
So
love
this
it.
is my
Um,
special statement.
it reminds me of some of the criteria that Di was saying, which we'll come to in a little while. She says, we want you to make some statement jewellery. It doesn't have to be big, but it does have to be bold and exciting. And
Oh,
your little bee there is exactly that. It doesn't have to be big, but that little statement at the top, just brilliant. And
yeah. Well, it's also I know what it means, and people
yeah.
often people just have no clue who I am, which is fine, and I can be walking down the street wearing this, and they just won't have a clue. And like you said last week, bees are quite
They're
popular, aren't
everywhere.
they, as a
Yeah.
motif? So it's fine.
Yeah.
But
Oh, well,
yeah, I know what it
and
means.
there's me in my statement piece. This is a tablecloth that was cut
Lovely.
up. I made it into a shirt and then dyed it in my lavender blue, statement lavender blue too. So it's a one of a kind. And it's actually got some amazing lacy bits from the border of the. Can you see
Oh,
that?
it's just fabulous.
And then
It's
I've got my,
really
my
gorgeous.
Lawrence Llewellyn Bowen cuffs.
Oh, lovely. Oh, that's show me that again. Show me that cuff. Look at that.
And I
Oh,
made two flaps of them as well, so it can. Can you see?
it's a
Yeah,
double it can be, yeah, very nice.
but roll,
So
and then the
Esme would
back.
probably say that's very nice placement, Stuart.
Don't know whether you can
Oh,
see.
look
Can
at
you see
that.
the back?
Yeah, yeah.
Yes,
Move
yes.
over to your left a bit
Oh,
more.
which is my left? Oh no,
Which
that
is
way.
your left? Or is it the other? That's it. That's it.
Can you see
Oh,
that?
yeah, lovely. That's gorgeous.
Okay.
See, I don't think our knitting viewers would necessarily know that you're quite handy with a needle and thread as well. So
Well,
that's
I'm getting there. I'm getting there. Inspired by you and the sewing bee. I think I made this during your season as well.
did
So I
you?
think so. Yeah.
Oh,
Right, anyway,
very good.
enough about us. Let's talk
I mean,
about Game
let's
of
move
War
on.
and the amazing knitters. Let's go to the comments from last week. Lizzie,
Yes,
you were
please.
on form last week. It was a brilliant Unravelled show. I felt we were just it was really lovely, but I've also noticed you appearing in the comments. You were chatting away with everyone, weren't you? Typing away and
Well, I just
replying.
because I didn't get in quite so much the week before, so I thought I wanted to make up a bit and
Oh,
say hello to a few people.
lovely, lovely to see. Right, first of all, we have Neil. A good comment from Neil. He said, "Can you remember Button Gate? You know, either knitted a
Oh
button or a
yes,
real button." Well, Neil makes a good
yes,
point. He says this could be down to editing of the show, but shouldn't Holger's chopsticks have been made using crochet too and not real, especially as buttons not being knitted or crocheted was highlighted in a previous challenge on a previous week? Good point.
very good point actually, and I just makes me wonder. We didn't really get a criteria for how much in the way of props was allowed because Isaac had his tin foil, Simon had his frying pan. Who else? There were a couple of
Yeah,
things like that,
yeah.
but there were quite a few just regular plates. So maybe I don't
That's
know,
right. It's just interesting what other people pick up on. We try
isn't
and
it?
pick
Yeah.
up on things as we talk and chat and notes here, but that's why I love the comments because people see things that others don't, and I'm like, oh, I didn't see that.
Yes.
Oh, I didn't see that. Oh, yeah. So I do love reading the comments. Next one, thanks, Neil. Is Rich. Great comment. This is a comment of two butts, not those butts. Firstly, I've really enjoyed the show and love you both for this companion show. I think it needs to not be taken so seriously in some corners of the internet. But this week was the first time I got a little bit frustrated, and you've said everything that I would have. Was this amigurumi? Isn't some of the judging inconsistent? That was one but. And then the second but, which I really love, but I still think the show gives way more than it takes away. My local yarn shop, hello Rachel at Sitting Knitting, has seen an increase of footfall and inquiries into her shop, which just shows how it's captured the imagination of people watching. Surely this is the measure of its success. What do you think about that?
Yeah. Well, yes, and I agree. Just I'm not in our shop very much, but we have loads of people coming in at the moment saying I want to learn to knit, and I don't know how much of that is down to the show. It's often a number of factors, isn't it? But it's if it encourages people to pick up the pins,
Absolutely. Or
fabulous.
pick up your hook. Definitely.
Pick up your hook.
Um, And the next one, which I'm sure I can sense people know what's coming up. Simon and his badge. We had
Oh,
billions of comments.
so many comments, weren't there? It was unanimous
Yeah.
across the board, wasn't it?
Absolutely. Golden Lizard says, I absolutely loved Simon's bacon. It inspired me to make a cooked breakfast for dinner last night, although my bacon didn't look as delicious as his. Thank you both for so much of your... thank you both for... I say I can't talk. So much for your positive coverage of this show. And I noticed you responded, now that is an endorsement. The mouth-watering factor was real.
Yeah, I couldn't believe how much. There were quite a few comments in that little stream about
Yeah.
how people it made people hungry, and I thought, oh, it just made me think how unpleasant it would be to actually chew on
Oh,
some
oh.
crochet cotton.
Marion says Simon's improvement regarding his crochet skills reached a new high in the food challenge. That it was such a shame he didn't get the Sheep Badge for his excellent work. And we all agree. We all wanted
We
him
all agreed.
to get the Sheep Badge, didn't we? And I know they've got to make these decisions, but we think that was a wrong decision. So we, with the magic of Photoshop, Simon, we'd like to award you the Sheep Badge because it should have gone to you. Here we go. Ah, look at him there. Pride, proud of place.
Special Unravelled award.
Absolutely. Right.
Ah,
Let's see who we've got left then after last week. So we had to say goodbye to Tracy. They are...
goodbye, Tracy.
See you, Tracy, and we're now down to 5. This is technically the
Mm.
quarter-final, semi-final next week, and then the final. So only 2 left. So, statement week. You ready to talk about it?
Go on then. Let's dive in.
Right. First challenge was the jewellery challenge. And the judges said it doesn't have to be big, but it does have to be bold and exciting. They were tasked to make two pieces, a necklace and then a cuff or a bracelet of something. So two pieces. And Sheila then said, oh, you need to choose the best possible materials to create something new. And I thought, oh, this is interesting. Choose the best possible materials. So were we going to see them going into the haberdashery and exploring all different types of materials to choose? I don't know. I was getting
Yeah.
excited for that.
I think, is this the first time where they've been encouraged to choose different materials? Because often on these challenges they've had the same thing, so
Indeed.
they've been working off the same starting
Yeah.
point. I think, is that right?
Yes, some, and they've been given yarns, so we've not really seen them rummaging around. They're all been given the merino super chunky from
Yes,
Rowan, or they've been
yes.
given like they have for the later challenge, the creative linen. So I thought we might see a variety of materials being used, but I actually didn't get that feel from looking at the finished pieces. Did you?
Um, I I suppose what was catching my eye more was the designs.
Yes.
But then also I think one or two of them had chosen a more refined approach, and that really, for me, that stood out against the more sort of
Yeah.
standard four ply or uh, yeah, a couple of them were no, were they four ply or DK? Anyway, we
Don't
can
know,
get
but
into it. But I did notice I was quite pleased to see some variety
yes.
in what they were using, which we haven't really had a
No.
lot of up to now.
I was surprised that maybe that's just me. There wasn't more bling stuff. But as you say, it
Yeah,
was. They obviously all went down the refined route. But didn't someone want to like put a bit of sparkle? I know we had the beads, which was wonderful, but. Did no one want to use tinsel or sparkly to make that bold
you and your
statement?
tinsel.
I don't know.
Stuart, I know it's Christmas, but bearing in mind they were filming this in
Oh, March.
uh,
Yeah,
it
true.
was March, wasn't it? Because dear Lydia was upset about it being Mother's Day. There was a giveaway about the
Oh,
calendar.
yes.
Um, but I just thought actually knitting knitting jewelry, there's an awful lot you can achieve with the yarn, as we
Yeah,
saw.
yeah.
There's an awful lot of beauty that you can achieve with a knitting stitch. But yes, well, we had some wire in there.
Didn't
We
we?
had some beads.
Yeah.
We had some refashioned bin bag, which would catch the light in a certain way. But
Yeah.
that was about it in terms of the variety of materials that they were using. But so yeah, I suppose yeah, it
It,
fairly
yeah.
limited.
But there was something there, I suppose.
What would you have chosen if you were doing it?
I think I would have gone fine yarn for sure, but I think I would
Yeah,
have gone for what they often call the fancy textured yarn. There are some yarns that have a little bit of stellina in it, like the polyester, the sparkle. There are some yarns that
yeah.
have just the smallest amount of what are they called on Strictly? Oh, I've completely forgotten. The glitter. What are those things? Sequins. That's it. You have some that
Yeah,
have because they're yarns that you're supposed to hold with another yarn just to give them an element
yes,
of glamour, I suppose.
yes,
But
yes.
it would have definitely been a fine yarn. I would have probably chosen a mercerized cotton as well. So I agree with who had the mercerized cotton.
Was it Ailsa had a
Yeah, and
mercerized
Lydia too, because
and
you've got that
Lydia?
lovely shine on a
Bit
mercerized
of a
cotton,
shine,
haven't you?
yeah,
But
yeah. But you can get lace weight uh, threads, but then they're up against that time
yes,
challenge,
yeah.
needing to do it quickly. So
But as you
yeah,
said though,
interesting.
with your little bee, and as Di said, it doesn't have to be big. So they they could have still been very very small, almost like choker.
Yeah.
You know,
Well, it
couldn't
could
it?
have been. It could have been that you. Well, I think, and when we look at them all, we'll notice this. But I think it could have probably a good way to have approached it, as we will see in some of them, is that um, there's a real focal
Yeah.
point, which is where all the juice is, and then the structure around it is something that can be done a lot quicker with a more standard yarn. So I think I probably would have gone down the route of some beadwork
Yeah.
or knitting with wire to create a beautiful focal point, or as we saw on Lydia's choker, there were
And then
strands
some
of these
open
beads,
work.
or
Yeah. Yeah.
yeah.
Let's have a look. Shall we have a
But
look at them?
again, I think this is where in the planning, interestingly, with this challenge, there wasn't so much of the, it's almost like Game of Wool grew up a little bit. So there wasn't so
Absolutely.
much
Yes.
play and
Yeah.
create something crazy and a bit
Yeah.
clown like. This was where it got serious. And so all our chats last time about treating it more like the filming of
Yeah.
jewellery, I think it does work actually. I enjoyed this because it was taking itself
Yeah.
a little bit more seriously. And I thought, there, you see, they can do it. They can do it.
It's
And I wonder if this was a toe in the water for Game of Wool to see, well, okay, so we can crochet deck chairs and it's
yeah.
just a right old laugh. But can we keep the audience if we do something a bit more serious and refined? I think they can.
And we'll show you the results of it. Here
Yeah,
they
let's have a
are.
look. Oh, look.
So our 5 finished makes there, and so varied. I thought
Yeah,
too.
yeah, really varied, really varied. Where do you want to dive in?
Well, there's only 5, so let's. Shall we go through in alphabetical order? Let's go to keep
Let's
it
do that. Yeah,
fair.
we can keep it fair.
And we
We
can pull up the close-ups as we go through. So alphabetical order is Ailsa first with her beautiful thistles inspired, Scotland inspired piece of jewellery.
Scotland inspired. Yeah,
Statement piece. Do you think that's statement? Bold, exciting.
I think it's I think it's a Scottish statement. Absolutely. I just felt, and I didn't write down what the judges said, but I know you'll be on it. But I felt that
Go to the big
this
version.
idea, in a way, I felt like the choice of yarn made it a bit too squidgy and a bit too sort of it's a bit too soft around the edges. And I
Yeah.
wonder if it needed a it's got such fabulous structure, hasn't it? This design. It's so clever what she's done, uh, creating this sort of um, Celtic knot.
Yeah.
It's all in and out. And I wonder if it just would have
Did you want it more
been a
woolly?
bold.
Did you want it more woolly and
No,
oh right.
no, I wanted it less. I wanted it less woolly. I mean, if you did, oh gosh, actually, can you imagine if you did that in mohair? But in a really, so it had a real or really firm structure. I think that's what I'm because you see on some of these little bends and
Yeah.
curves, it's a bit wobbly,
Yeah.
and I just think if it was in a really firm finish, maybe with some mohair in there, play with that texture. Thistles, they've got hair on them.
Yes,
Play
that
with the
I
texture,
think so.
or
Yeah.
the structure of that green. You could have made it like a proper sort of hard stem.
Do you
Um,
think the structure would have been even better if it was more tighter and compact as well? Because
yes, but
there are lots of open, maybe design based, or just because of time not pulled tight enough. What do you think if that
yes,
was pulled tighter?
maybe if it was pulled tighter, that would probably, suck it in together a bit more.
Yes.
But this is where I was wondering about scale actually, and if so when you're making a statement, um, if Elsa had made this smaller but sort of firmer and maybe with some different textures, like a bit of mohair in there
Those bits
somewhere.
smaller.
Yeah, we're just that whole thing maybe made the
Or just
head of the thistle. You could have made that more.
I
striking
see.
somehow.
Yeah. So your
Would
eye
that have
goes to
worked?
that because at the moment I find that there's perhaps a lot of this. And does your eye go to that statement bit in the middle, or is the whole thing supposed to be the statement?
The whole thing is the
Yeah,
statement, and I think, in fairness to Elsa, it really is a statement. The color of it,
yeah.
um, and the design of that interwoven cord is really deceptively simple because it's hard.
Oh
That's
God,
a sort of
it's
knotting that's
yeah.
takes a bit of working out.
What
Um,
about the three beads?
well, if Esme was here, she'd say, do beads or don't do
Yeah.
beads. Don't just put three tiny little beads.
I wonder if that was
So
a last minute thing or just run out of time and there should have been more beads like she had on because I loved the
Or show
bracelets.
us the cuff. What does the cuff look like?
Look at all
Yes,
of
so there's a lot.
those.
See there, you see, we've got some different material.
Did she?
And oh, wasn't this something that Di said? That the color, the purple color on this and the beads, it's quite a different piece, isn't it? And actually,
Yes, I agree. I didn't agree with Di's comment. She wanted more purple in here. And I'm like, oh, well, I don't know about that because this is the green of the thistle. You'd save the purple for the purple bit, wouldn't you?
but you see, Stuart, have a little think about William Morris,
Oh, okay,
and how it's a sort of adding a bit of color through that green
yeah,
design would have been like a reprise of the thistle
okay,
tones and colors. And so, actually, from a color point of view, that's something that would have perhaps I can see where she's coming from. It would have tied the whole thing through, and it's less of a
okay.
literal the stem's green and the thistle
See,
purple.
this is where you're good with your design background. Absolutely love it. But you can see all the beads there. They are
Yeah,
beautiful. And
they are.
and I think had we have had that maybe on the front, would that have just popped even more if they were all along
Yeah.
there and all along there?
Yes, with a bit more. I'm still going to hold out for the mohair just because I love it. But I just, if you can imagine that purple spray
Yeah.
with a with something
Oh. Oh.
fluffy. Do
Oh.
you know what I mean?
Yeah, I
So
do.
then you'd have that
Yeah.
the soft. So if you think about a thistle in the wild,
Yeah.
it's got the soft fluffy bits, but it's also got the spiky
Yeah.
bits. And I think maybe you can look at materials to see how you would make that statement, so that just looking at it, you get a sense of it being a very
Yeah.
tactile thing.
But beautiful. Look at that yarn. Look at the definition of that four ply cotton.
I
Love
know.
it.
Yeah, very
Elsa,
good.
thank you, Elsa. And let's go on to Holger then next. It was very difficult to get a close up. This is where I moan again. Come on, production
One
crew.
production.
They didn't
Oh
do a
yeah, look at
single
that.
front on full picture. We just had a half camera pan shot. And it's like, come on, make sure it's
Come on,
equal.
guys.
Yes. But there we go. We can still see the definition of that bin liner yarn.
Now then, what do you think, Stuart? Did Holger knitted, well, crocheted all that very fine white
It,
edging?
uh, it,
That was all.
it does look like it crocheted, yes, yeah,
And that's a lot of work. That is a lot of work.
yeah. But the black was
But
ribbing,
what do
wasn't
you?
it? I think it was 2x2 ribbing, wasn't it?
Yeah, look
So
at
perhaps
yes.
not as much work.
What do you think about the contrast between that big chunky bin liner and the very delicate white
Oh,
lace?
I loved it. I just don't think it worked on the white mannequin. It's like, come on, production crew, where's the other colour mannequin? The
Ah,
white is just completely lost, isn't it?
actually, that's a good point.
So
Yeah, I hadn't really thought
I don't think they sold it very well. Have I got another picture? What's this one? Oh, that's his bracelet, or
of
his
it.
cuff. Yeah,
You
but
went to the
yes, I felt
black. See, there's some shiny yarn, isn't it? And there's
yes,
the
yeah. Do you think his black bin liner was as shimmery as you can get? I don't know whether his black bin liner was a bit too matte or not. Did he need those old school bin liners that used to be really black and shiny?
70s bin
Yeah.
liners.
The ones that couldn't hold anything and pierced with a.
Well, I wonder, knowing Holger, I bet it was an intentional choice because it's almost as if it's a brushed steel or
Yeah,
something
it's
like that,
beautiful.
isn't
I
it?
suppose from that point of view,
And
yeah.
and maybe I don't know. I bet there are a few tests that have gone on
But
in the lead up to this to see how different sort of bin bags would perform.
I love his idea of okay, I've been given this brief the week before or however long they got it in advance of a statement week, statement jewellery. He has gone down that route almost like me with my shirt. Well, if I want to make a statement, I want to do something completely different. And let's have a different type of yarn. That's just clever, isn't
Yeah,
it?
it's great. And I think it's exactly what this challenge was
Yeah.
asking for is trying something with, you know, you could take a charger cord and well, I'm sure if I started to
Yeah,
knit
yeah,
this up into a little chain,
yeah.
we go just on everybody. I don't know if anyone can see that,
Oh,
but
I think it's brilliant. Yeah,
so you
see,
just start to
yeah,
you can just choose something and that's effectively a chain stitch, but you've got a loop
yeah.
already to you could start threading other things in and out of that. You know, just pick up anything and play with it.
Well, it
And
rem- it
yeah,
rem-
that's the one thing that
it reminds me of what's her name with the black dress and the not paper clips, safety
oh,
pins.
Liz Hurley.
Yes, that's a statement piece, wasn't it? Because of those
That is a
safety
state.
pins.
Well,
Some,
everyone still talks about it from time to time, don't they? So
but we'll remember this because of the. We'll say in years to come. Oh, can you remember that one with the bin bag
yeah,
make?
bin bag yarn, yeah,
Yeah,
I know.
very creative, Holger.
But
Um,
I think the mixture. I mean, it's interesting because it keeps me looking. That's what I
it
will
does.
say.
Yeah,
Is that I wasn't sure. I wasn't sure about the. If you go back to the other one,
yeah.
I wasn't sure about that pretty little white lace against the massive chunky bin bag. But actually, that is a concept. He's sort of putting those adjacent
Yeah,
because it makes a statement. So, you know, and it keeps me looking. So
yeah.
maybe that's, you know, that's half the battle, isn't it?
If you want to find more about his concept, you can go onto Instagram, and he's given the
Mm.
whole background of it. And what he was
Oh,
inspired
great.
by was the mourning period of Queen Victoria, and that's
Ah,
his inspiration of creating something out of this tragedy, and it's reflected in the color scheme there.
yes.
But you can
Oh,
find more info on Instagram.
yeah.
Right, alphabetical order is Isaac next. There we go.
Well,
I think
bless him.
this is might be something that I would make. I think
Is
because
it?
it's like well, it's bold. It's jewelry. It's yeah. It's made up of lots of different things.
I think when you, well, this it's an interesting question about positioning, I think. So, um, for each person answering a brief, are they doing it in a everyday sort of a way, or are they making a piece that will be at home on a runway, for example?
Right.
And I look at something like this versus what we've just been looking at with Holgers, and think the end home for these, if you like, is completely different places. That's not to say one is right or wrong. It's just very different. And it makes it quite difficult to judge in the sense that there are loads of different stitches that Isaac's
Yeah.
put in here.
Absolutely.
Um, and he doesn't, he's said, I don't really know much about jewelry. He did something that he thought his girlfriend might like to wear. Is that right?
Yeah,
I
that's
think he
right.
said
Yeah,
that.
and
And and
it's
so
it's
yeah,
bold, isn't it? That big, it's
really
eye
bold.
catching. That if you're wearing that daisy here, that's like we would talk about. Maybe Ailsa's thistle was smaller, wasn't it? Is this
I
going
tell you
to?
where
Is that a
I tell
statement
you
piece?
where this would sweep the boards is somewhere like Glastonbury. where,
Yeah, people.
if somebody was walking around with their statement
Yeah,
daisy and a sequined jumpsuit, then that it would be a knockout, wouldn't it?
yeah.
That's where that as a statement would, but almost think with this one, Stuart, we're almost in the realm of the Di's famous comment about making Ailsa making her vegetables more abstract.
Yes, yeah,
So it's almost a bit too cute to
yes.
be a
What?
statement with the kind of attitude that I think they might have been after. Does
What?
that make sense?
It does, and I was thinking, did he need those little flowers? Would it have elevated the whole thing without the little daisies, and
Now
just
that's a
having the pure green strap, and then this lovely
yeah.
big boom in the middle?
Yeah, well, that's a really good point. And then you could have put he could have sewn in metallics into that day. He could have really gone to town
Yeah,
on the
yeah,
maybe some beading
yeah.
detail or just
I
like
think so.
really close attention to
Yeah.
detail, which would have made it would have made you want to look at it and then get closer and
Indeed,
just get
indeed.
closer.
And then, oh, hello, hello,
Yeah,
you.
that's a really good point. Yeah, those little daisies. It's interesting, isn't it? Because I hadn't really thought of that.
I
But it
think
just
it,
it
it
takes the eye away
it
from that
does,
centerpiece.
and it also, as we were saying about this refinedness, which has come about because of this challenge, rather than me and
Yes.
my tinsel and my glitter, it sort of makes it less, catwalky, doesn't it? With those little daisies, get rid of those little daisies, and then
Well,
ooh, you've got this
yes.
real bold statement there with your bee. There's too many things, basically.
It's almost like
Yeah,
he's onto something.
yeah,
He's onto something, but he needs to go through a little bit more, uh, yeah, a little bit more refinement to make it a serious catwalk
yeah.
piece. But as a statement in everyday festival land, it's
Oh,
perfect. And I love how he did the little
I know.
petals falling off.
Yeah,
Love me not.
beautiful. Um,
Sweet.
yes, two more to go. Lydia, let's have a look at Lydia's. Um,
Oh, Lydia,
yeah, let's just move that.
just what a
There we go.
superstar.
As she was explaining it and seeing it happening, I think the nation just went,
I know. Just so good. So good. She just had her concept.
yeah. So we've
She
got,
didn't shy away from using a really small stitch,
yeah,
um, which gives that really
yeah,
refined
absolutely, small and
quality.
tight. But
I
then
mean,
you,
that's what you think of when you
yeah.
think about the artisan. Have you ever seen any of the Dior stuff? When
Oh, have I?
Maria Grazia
Yes.
Curie was in
Yeah,
charge, and she used to feature these artisans from around the world, and they would feature in the main Dior collection for that year. Unbelievable,
yeah,
and it just puts me in mind of that the couture taking the time to create these
yeah.
exquisite tiny stitches, exquisite beading details, not being afraid of just piling in on that. She did it in the time, and she even had to unpick a bit and go again, but she made it work, and it was just the fit of it, the way it drapes around the neck.
It's
I mean,
beautiful.
it
Yeah.
was just another level,
Well,
wasn't it? Just
absolutely. Yeah. And
yeah,
what was, I think the whole nation was just cheering was we're seeing either knitting or crochet. In this case, it's crochet. But it's small, rather than being a stupid big challenge where they need 12 hours. They've actually measured it right. Let's give them 10 hours because then they can
yeah,
make something small, but they can make it
yes,
beautiful and show
yeah,
the exquisite work of whatever
yes.
crochet or knitting. And to me, the task was great from that point of view. It shows off the skill in every way.
And isn't this what we've been sort
Yeah.
of crying out for? I mean, I know that this is all edited months in advance, so they're not
No.
tuning into Unravelled each week. Oh, how can we do it different
Well,
next?
hang
They've
on.
already done it, but
Yeah.
this to me proves what we've been calling for, that it would work.
Yeah.
That uh, yeah,
We just want more of it.
smaller,
Like we were saying last
more
week with your
refined.
mittens, remember?
Yeah,
They
I
could,
know.
what
Just
you could do with a mitten with the back, and what so all they had to do was a back, put cables on. We don't have to see the
Um,
whole finished thing, do we?
just a slight detour because I don't want to take away from Lydia, but I just got some more socks to show you this week.
Oh, okay. Oh, let me go to the big camera. Hang on. Go on. Do it again.
Right, so
Oh,
I thought I'd wear my little lacy
yes.
socks.
Oh,
Um, they're there we go, and
love
they've
it.
got, I don't know if you can see in there. It's a bit hard to tell in this light, but they've got little sort of
I,
seed colours in
yeah,
there.
yeah.
But just knitting I just cast on a new sock this morning,
Oh,
and I was thinking you could do a cracking sock in a 10-hour challenge.
yeah, yeah,
And I know that there are some people in there who design socks and some people who've never made one, but I'm just going to put that back on. My toes are cold.
but you don't have to do the whole sock. They could have had the toe, the body, and the heel turned, and just let the
Do
contestant
a little
design.
shorty.
And yeah, just let the contestant
Yeah,
design the up to the thigh, and do some beautiful cable work or some
yeah.
eyelets like you've got there. Yeah, there's
Things like that.
yeah,
So let's go back to Lydia because I
yeah.
don't want to cut her short.
Where are we? There. Oh no.
But yeah,
Yeah,
so I think it's just that sense that look, this this is really gorgeous.
yeah,
It's really impressive. And I think for all the slightly disgruntled knitters out there, this is the sort of thing. I know it's crochet, but this is the sort of level of
yeah,
detail I think people would really appreciate seeing more of. And Lydia this week, she's just knocked the
yeah.
socks off this
Absolutely.
challenge. Sorry, that was a
Ev-
bad one, wasn't
And
it?
everything about it. It's this, we've got that lovely, as we were saying at the beginning, that just a small thing that you can put all your effort into. Look at that mosaic crochet. But then this bit down here and how it opens up and gets,
Really
more and
good.
more see-through. How sexy is that too? It's
Really good.
it's you would if whatever dress they're wearing below it, whether it's a little top number, with a lot of flesh showing here,
Yeah,
you would go, that's a statement piece. Look, have you seen her over
yeah,
there? Have you seen Lydia? No,
yeah.
you would, wouldn't you?
Also, from a design point of view,
Yeah,
again, with in terms of if you think about a whole ensemble, um, and how that as a statement piece, because of the detail on the neck, it would draw the eye in
yeah,
up from the
yeah.
shoulders, up the neck,
Oh,
onto the face, onto the
and
hair,
then you
and it just create this sort of statuesque kind of effect. It's
well,
really
you're
clever.
then looking at the person's face, and then what
Yeah,
a great way of attracting people to look at you. Say, look at
yeah,
me. This is me.
I know. Makes you stand up
I've done
straight.
it just, yeah. And then I want to be doing this. Oh dear.
Oh, brilliant.
Right, last but not least, alphabetical. We're to that's yeah. There's close up of
Oh,
Lydia's. Look at
yeah.
those beads still in there. Look,
That's
it's
lovely,
just
isn't it?
exquisite.
She's
Oh
just done ever so well.
yeah.
Well done, Lydia.
Simon, here we go.
Come on, Simon. DNA, wasn't it? Was that,
It
or there
was
was
two
a
sides of it: the DNA,
chemical compound?
and then the heart on the back,
That's
which
right.
again, I'm not the production crew. Come on, look, you're doing one whole shot, which was what we asked for, but then you shove the heart on the front there. Could you not have done a second shot, which they did end up doing,
Do a
so
rotating.
we could see it
Do a
there
rotating.
as a better
Yeah.
picture? But look at
So
that
I think
work.
I was excited when I saw Simon knitting with wire, and I was excited to see him picking up the Viking knitting technique. When I was working, it's this time last year, and I was doing some workshops at the Harrogate Knit and Stitch show, and there was somebody that a tutor came in after my session with all these amazing gadgets to do Viking knitting,
Oh,
and it
cool.
was just so intriguing. I thought, gosh, there's not enough hours in the day to
Yeah,
learn all these amazing techniques. But I was really excited to see Simon throwing himself into something
absolutely.
completely new.
Yeah,
And I think it had the potential to be
indeed.
a really great piece.
Well, it had the
It's just a
potential,
bit
like
wobbly in
Holger with
places.
his he's got his dustbin yarn. Simon's got his Viking knitting and this the metal. It had the potential to be wow and
Yes.
storm the board and get the badge, which I thought might happen.
Yes, but I think I do agree with the judges that there was a few little pokey ends
Yeah.
out sticking out, and it's a bit wobbly in places, and it was just a bit too shaky in a way.
Yes.
Um,
It looks a bit craft based, doesn't it? To be serious,
yes,
refined jewellery. Is that
yeah,
because there's too much of it? Had it been cut lower? Did it need to be there? It need to be cut. That
yes,
this whole thing needs to be moved up because it's very low
exactly
down,
that.
isn't it?
It is, and maybe a little bit in, so
Yes,
that it naturally would. At the moment, that sort of proportion is a bit like the top of a dungaree
yes, it's like a bib.
bib.
Yeah, it could have been.
You'd want it up. You'd
He
want it up a little bit,
he could have
and
saved
if you're
himself
going to,
some work, couldn't he, by having it smaller?
yeah, yeah, yeah. But then it's not. Then it's a very small and delicate
Yeah.
thing. So perhaps he wanted that again. Going back to scale, he wanted to keep it a decent scale so that you can't really look past it. But definitely lifting that up would have made a difference.
It comes back to your little bee on the back of your thing, isn't it? Are you brave enough to make a statement piece and have something small and in the middle that is amazing, or do you feel you need something big in order to be eye catching? It's a
Yeah.
risk you take, I suppose, in what you choose.
Yes, and I think it's one of those that when you're designing, you're always conscious of. So in graphic design, photography, when you're preparing a layout, you will often have. Let's take photography. So
Okay.
um, in a photographic image, the documentary photographers like Cartier-Bresson, there are so many I could have chosen, but there will be when you look at a photograph there will be a place that your eye immediately goes to. And the clever ones, the way they put things into what you might call a layout, but photography, it's the composition. There'll be things through that composition where you go to that figure of the man that's leaping across the puddle, and the angle of his leg will point to
Right.
something on the
Okay.
floor, and that ripple will go to something else. And a good piece of design or photography, or it'll just catch
I
your
see.
eye, and then you'll still be looking 5 minutes later and you won't have realized why. But it's because it's a really clever, engaging, compelling
Okay.
design or composition that keeps you looking. It just makes you want to look. So I think with this one with Simon, see, I'm getting into photography lecturer mode
No, it's
there.
great. It's great. It's what the audience like. They like to hear
But
more.
with this one with Simon's, I think you're right. If he'd have sort of made it a bit more
Yeah.
compact, um, A, he would have been able to put more attention into a smaller
Yeah.
area,
Yeah.
but he would have been able to refine that design. So it was almost going to make your mouth water with
Yeah.
how exquisitely
Yeah.
made it was, rather than a sense that any of it was a bit rushed. And so, yeah, just a little bit smaller, more refined, and
Yeah.
you probably would still be looking at all the stitch definition and yeah.
It's almost like the heart because the heart is smaller. Should it have been the other way around? So rather than the heart being the extra bit, because when you look at that heart close up, there it's just
Yeah.
beautiful. It works.
Well, it is, but then if you look at the wobble around the edge
Yes,
and
that's true. But the inside bit is great, isn't it?
yeah, it's pretty good. Now I'm being really picky here because let's face it, he's done Viking knitting. Look at that chain
Yeah,
around the top of
yeah,
the neck,
yeah.
and
That's
it's really
yeah,
good. And he's knitted with wire
yeah,
on national telly in front
yeah.
of everyone, and it does look good. I think this is where the time challenge, it's up against them because if you were seriously knitting that for public consumption, you'd probably take an awful lot longer and make
Of
sure
course.
all of those
Yeah,
stitches were really, your
yeah,
tension is bang on
yeah.
all the way through. Um,
But what?
But hey, look, he
How
created that.
brave?
And
How brave? Hey,
so
yeah,
exactly what I was about
yeah,
to say. So brave,
yeah,
so ballsy and
yeah.
great. And yes,
And
it's
that
got him threaded through it.
indeed.
It's like
Indeed,
yeah.
and he has gone right. I want to make a statement. I'm not just going to use a yarn from the haberdashery. I'm going to do something different with this wire and this new technique. So
And
that
he's made a statement.
that says to me that he's really into the process. He's not
Yes.
just there to be on the television program. He's actually really
No.
thinking about his impact on what it could have for all of us, isn't he?
And also, he did say so two things. One is that early on, a few weeks ago, he said about how he's not really a designer. So he's really pushing himself out with this
Yeah.
piece. And so, yeah, another level of courage there. And good on you, Simon, for doing that. And secondly, the devotion that's gone into that because he was
Yeah.
making it for his wife.
Yeah.
And there's obviously more backstory behind that, as we found out in week
Mm.
one with the little cells in the
Yes, the
dish.
IVF and everything.
And
Yeah.
and I just think, this it's one thing to be doing all this learning on your own, but when you're discovering things on on national
Mm.
television in front of all the viewers and you're sort of opening up, it's really courageous.
Did you
So
enjoy the pace? Because we have only got five knitters, crocheters now, five contestants. To me,
yeah,
it felt like the show actually works now at five people. It's breathable. We can there was times enough times for a few more detailed vox pops where I was like, I'm now really getting to know the contestants, and it's
yeah,
week six, but I'm now really getting to know them. But it felt
yeah.
to me like the format actually works better now as a result compared to week one.
I think I was much more uh, we're getting more of them, we're
Yeah,
getting more of the
yeah,
technique, we got more of the judges, didn't we? We
yeah,
got more of feedback from the
yeah.
judges. So, and all of that's really good. And I think, um, yeah, it just is such a contrast from that very first week where it was this bit of a, you
Well,
know,
as I said, I felt like I was watching nothing on that first 2 weeks. It's like, what actually am I watching? I'm just seeing end results and then too many sort of cutaways. It was frenetic and
a
it
bit
wasn't.
weird, but yeah,
It,
but it's gradually
yeah, indeed.
finding its zone.
Okay, right. Shall we talk about the team challenge? Which was it a team challenge? It'd be
Was
interesting.
it a team? It was just one big team
It
with five
was.
individual
Let's go to it.
panels.
It was called the Lace Challenge, and they were tasked to work as a team, all five of them, to create a piece of statement lighting. And well, you should have, if you want to watch on replay, go and look at their looks when it cuts to them because they're like, statement lighting? What's this? It was brilliant.
Yeah,
They didn't have a clue.
oh,
I didn't have a clue either. They were told they were going to be creating a one of a kind lighting installation. They'll be using linen yarn, which turns out it was Rowan Creative Linen.
was
And they were
it?
using a vintage lace pattern, which was the
Yeah.
pineapple lace stitch. If you want to find more about that pineapple, go to Di's Instagram page and you'll see it all there. And she's knitted it before. And
Is it one of hers? Did she say it's a Shetland one? Can't
I
remember.
think the pattern is vintage, but she explains more about it on her page because she's knitted it as well. But yes, I think
Yeah.
it's a back. They said Shetland, didn't they? Um, they had to make five panels because there are five people on the team. But actually, it wasn't to me a team challenge at all. This is what I think should have been in week one or week two. This is the solo challenge at its best because you are literally marking five people with the same
Yeah.
task, the same
Yes.
brief,
Yes.
and you can put the five finished articles together and assess. It's the best
Well,
form of assessment, isn't it?
it was really good, and this is exactly. Wouldn't this have been a great pattern?
Yeah,
First big knit challenge. It would have easily. And I really I enjoyed the way they're sort of taking the judging of it more seriously
yeah,
with the way they did it, I know because it's a light, but they had the projector
Yeah,
screen, and that we were actually analysing the stitch patterns, and there was something,
like
yeah,
that.
look at that, and
Yeah, it
they
was.
were taking it
Yeah,
seriously, and
yeah.
they were comparing. You can compare that central column and the piece
That's
against
it.
piece. It just made it more, oh yeah, I can see what's
Yeah,
going on
I
there.
loved it.
And
I loved it. I just
it
thought,
was, I was much more from a serious knitter's
yeah,
point of view, and I know I keep using that expression, but I think it's much more engaging. Uh, there's more refinement. You can appreciate how hard it is, rather than just piling in a big load of chunky color
yeah,
color bomb. Um, the presentation of it, I just thought the that lamp frame was perhaps a little bit ugly, and took away from the lace a little bit on the lamp. But the way that they projected it and
yeah.
talked through it, I just thought that was much, much better.
I I just felt that the viewers at home could actually then go, oh, it's a bit like Strictly. Oh, yes, that
Yes,
was better than that. You know, the olden days of Strictly when they all did
yes,
ballroom or they all did Latin rather than
yes,
doing every different one. And
yes,
it wasn't about design. This is about a knitter's skill. And we've got
Jill,
5 knitters there. We can at long last judge someone on their skill rather than, because
yes,
I've always said that even with sewing bee, the design is it's a different part of the brain. I think you can have someone that
it
follows a
is.
really good pattern but can't design, and you've got someone who can brilliantly design but can't follow a pattern. So I just thought,
Well,
right, we can
yeah,
actually assess. We at home can go, that's better than that. I can see that.
yes, yes, and maybe this is where you can imagine in the production office, with the knitting consultants, whoever they are, and
Oh, let's hope
and
they've
they're
got
trying to
some.
come up with the right sort of
Yes.
challenges.
Yeah.
You can really sort of sense that, okay, this is, they really are trying to find that balance,
Yeah.
and some of the challenges are more, I mean, you look at them like that,
I
and
know.
from a distance, for the uninitiated, you think, what's wrong with any of them?
Yeah.
But actually, you can spot one or two places. But um, the some of the challenges would lean towards someone with a more design sensibility. Some will lead. Well, it's like for sewing bee,
Yeah.
pattern challenge was my nemesis. I really struggled until art week when I won the skirt challenge and suddenly realized, oh, I can do it.
Yeah.
But it was the design that was always my
Yeah.
strength. Whereas someone like Kit in this last series obviously did phenomenally
Yeah.
well with pattern
Indeed.
challenge, and that was his absolute, you know,
Yeah.
home run, wasn't it?
And
So
I think,
but I quite like that there's a
yeah.
combination of people,
Oh, what combination of
of
tasks?
people who are more strength with design or more strength with
Of course,
following
because
pattern.
it,
But we need to see more of
I
that balance in the show, don't we?
absolutely hit the nail on the head there. And we haven't seen this properly until now. You've got a
No,
simple task, you've got the 10 hours, and they're all doing the same pattern. It's like the pattern challenge, really, isn't it? And they're following it. And I always said this when doing the sewing bee. It almost felt sometimes they were worried that everyone was going to be the best. But even with my teaching days, when I've got my students, you can give students double the amount of time or triple the amount of time in order to create the best piece. It won't mean they all create the best piece. There'll still be some
no,
different elements because that's where talent lies,
yeah,
and you'll still get a rank order. And even here with this, we've got 5 brilliant knitters, but they do falter at some points, whether it's a yarn over mist or whether it's reading the pattern and where they place it.
yeah.
But we can now properly judge 5 knitters now, can't we? We can see.
Well, also, this is where the competition conditions kick in, because they can all obviously follow a pattern, but it's that
Yeah,
pressure. And I think this is where we just think, is a competition the right thing to be doing? Because we knit for,
of course.
all sorts of
Yeah,
reasons to de-stress. But I can totally relate to those moments where poor old Lydia again. You know,
Oh,
she hit the buffers at one point and had a bit of a
yeah.
weepy moment, and I think we all felt for her at that
Oh, that
point.
was
But
hard to watch.
it's really hard to
I,
watch, and I can say having been there, you know. But the I think it's those when you've got that challenge. How long did they have to do this? Was it 10
10
hours?
hours. 10 hours. Yeah.
10 hours, and you can just imagine you get 6 hours in and your brain is
Yeah.
melting a bit because you're concentrating on this
Yeah.
little stitch chart. And it's that sort of power of
Yeah.
it's like an endurance race, you know, it's training to run a half marathon or something like that. You're mentally, it's
Yeah.
really intense,
I
this.
I
So
think she was also frustrated with her tools. Now, we I
yes.
found it very interesting. Only saw Holger and Lydia going into haberdashery to get. Was it Holger and Lydia, or was it Holger and Ailsa? Who?
We saw them going in for blocking later on,
Yeah,
but we
there
saw
was
them.
just two of them. They just went in and got the stuff out for the rest of the team. But they got some straight knitting needles and they got some
Yeah.
circulars. I zoomed in on those circulars, and they were using Knit Pro Lantern Moons because Knit Pro has now bought out Lantern Moon. But they
Right.
were using Lantern Moons. Now, Lantern Moons are beautiful, ebony, dark against the linen.
Yeah.
A good
Oh,
choice
very
of why they
stylish.
chose lantern moons, because you could then see your stitches on your
Yes.
needle. But I was trying to look at the join, and Lydia, you'll have to let me know if you're watching. I don't know whether they're swivel joints, so I think that yarn was catching and snagging on that join, and so I felt Lydia's pain there because I know what it's
Yeah,
like.
that's what she said.
Yeah,
And I can. That's so annoying
yeah,
if for whatever reason you're getting that snag and it's just not going smoothly. And I totally. It was the thing about the. I do love a flat knit, I have to say, but that's the way I was brought up.
yeah.
But when you've got a nice long needle
Oh
that you can
yeah, beautiful.
just cast on
Yeah,
the entire panel and you
yeah,
can see clearly, it's like hanging down, you can count it. On a circular, it's really, it's going to be hard to count, to see that stitch pattern
yeah,
emerge in a very
yeah.
flat, even way. So that's why was it Holger that had started on
He
those?
started on circular and then moved to straights because he
Ah,
then began to realise, yeah, you could see him
yes.
casting on his circulars, but then he soon moved to the straights. Yeah,
And then Lydia moved to these because the cable
that join.
connector
Yeah,
was snagging, but I think generally it was a good choice
yeah.
to move to the straights for those that did. So
But certainly felt for her there, and not her fault at all. It's just bad tools, and that is the problem with circular. Some, if they're fixed and they're cheap, that join will constantly bump and it will push and it will snag and you're having to push over. It's really frustrating. The
yeah,
pricier tools like Higher, like Xiaogu, they're a dream. They just breeze through, and they have these swivel cables too. So it was probably those knitting needles. So, but to see her be upset, I know that creates drama, and it probably was the editors.
yeah.
You know, the editors loved it. They were probably going, "Oh, great, we've got some drama here." But I
I
still don't
think
like watching people
knowing
cry and
knowing when to
upset.
switch the camera. Sorry, what was that?
Watching people upset and cry on camera is hard.
It is hard, and I think there's a real fine balance of knowing when to turn the cameras off
Yeah.
actually, and give someone a bit of privacy. But yeah,
Uh,
but I think we did all, Lydia, we all felt for you.
yeah, absolutely. But there we are. We've got our 5 finished panels. Some got a bit behind. We had then after Lydia, we heard in the edit that Simon had a problem and had to rip back. Oh, Lydia, I didn't call you Lydia then. Lizzie.
Yes.
Was the edit actually really good? Because I had no idea who was going. They were foiling us and pushing us down different rabbit holes.
Oh,
What did you feel at this stage?
I just was following my hunches that because it wasn't finished, Simon's panel would have him in trouble. And there were a few scruffy, you can see in the middle
Yeah,
there's a few scruffy sort of central pieces. But he was bless him, he was concerned about Lydia and was trying to help her out. And I think
Well,
he got
I
his.
felt that was so blown up, and it's so part of the edit that, oh my god, is Lydia going to go? Oh my god, but
Oh,
she
yeah,
just had a
well,
fascinating first round. She
oh,
can't
she
go,
had that
and
Stella.
it just
I
confused me
know.
a bit. And I thought they dealt with
Yeah.
that. Then suddenly, when we got back, then Simon had to rip back, and then it's like, oh no. So I just felt it
Well,
was,
then Isaac was jumping in to help, wasn't
yeah.
he? And yeah, but see, that's where the kindness of the group kicks in. Is that if someone's in trouble, generally the others all sort of swoop in to help out.
Let's.
So
I'm conscious we're up to an hour, so let's just have a quick look at the close-ups. You can compare them, and I think viewers at home can now see where the skills are, who missed out what. Especially when you're kind of looking at areas. You're looking at the stalks on everyone's.
yes,
You're then looking at the middle column, which they did point out. That
yes,
would be
Simons as
a
well.
place that you assess. And then obviously the lacework of the pineapples. But you can see from a
Yes.
distance where people have gone wrong. But let's just have a quick flick through them in close up. Where are they? Oh no, that's the shadows. No, we don't want to see the shadows. That was nice. Where are we? Oh no, I haven't done them close. Oh, okay. No, that is it. Because I thought you didn't need to see them close up. So
But
I
that's
haven't got
let's
the
just
picture.
take that one though, because you can see with the projection.
Yeah,
So if you look at the little thumbnail and you can see that central column is a little bit wiggly, but you can't really tell why. But
yeah.
then when you look at the projection, it's you can see much more clearly what's going on with that stitch
Yeah,
work.
but it
Um,
was fascinating
but
looking at those big pictures. Who else? Isaac came first, didn't he? So let's look at Isaac.
yeah,
There's Isaac's close. Look at that.
that's very good, isn't it?
When you look at
Well done, Isaac.
those bits there.
And all of those little motifs across the top
Y-
of the
Yeah,
pineapple, they're all really
yeah,
consistent. He did well.
yeah.
Isaac did well. He got his head down, ticked off the rows on the chart, and he said, I just like it. I like having a pattern to follow. And he did well. So good on
Absolutely.
you,
And
Isaac.
this would have been me. It's like, I love a pattern. Just give me a pattern and I can knit it. And then if I go wrong, then you can assess me on where I've gone wrong. But at least I'll probably know where I went wrong because I'm following a pattern. But yes,
Yeah,
I think it really floated his boat. He's got a written
yeah.
instruction. Just go for it.
Do you think the colour of the yarn they chose was a bit drab?
Yes, I suppose it was. It was a creative linen, wasn't it? It was just a beige. But did they want it neutral? So we just looked at the actual pattern, I suppose. Do you think?
And actually, it's horses for courses because I know lots of people love that natural undyed texture
Yeah.
color. Whereas look at me with all my bits and pieces of colors around me. I just wonder if it could have been a bit fresher somehow.
Yes,
Anyway,
maybe white. Pure white would have just been lovely. It would have been crisp. It would have been
or just a
pure.
little bit. It just looks a bit dirty to
Yes,
me.
yeah, yeah. But there we are. They're the rankings. Isaac first, Holger second, Ailsa third, Lydia fourth, Simon fifth. And then if you were to literally compare and contrast, you can actually then go, actually, I agree with the judging there. When you look at
Yes,
these two,
yes,
if you really wanted to break it down, you're having to go really close, aren't you, to see what the difference is? Is it literally that bit there from Holger?
it's just that little wobble on
Yeah.
Holger's, wasn't it? Yeah, that's it.
But what was also good was we got to see them blocking. Well, the ones that finished early, didn't
Yes,
we? We got to see them
yes.
blocking. The power of
We got to
blocking.
see them go
Yeah,
into the little haberdashery room. That was nice.
yeah,
And then a proper actual bit of
yeah,
process there with getting the blocks sorted. And it maybe, that's another thing where somebody I noticed in our comments on the blousy cardigan challenge said um, they weren't so happy about the green cardigan being marked down because
Oh,
the sleeves would
yes.
have bloomed if it
Yeah.
was blocked.
It would have.
So actually, there's
Yeah.
there's that's another thing where the show just does not have time
No.
to go into these fine tuning parts of the process that make a knit look outstanding. So it was lovely that we started to get that
Yeah.
glimpse of what happens when you do what you're meant to do with proper swanky
Well,
knitting,
look at the
put,
crispness
put
of
the block.
Isaac's and Holger's, because we saw them
Really
block.
good.
The crispness of that and how the stitches have relaxed and settled in. The lace work where you've had the yarn overs to make that open hole. It then settles in it, and therefore the pineapple is created, especially with the, the green bits at the top. They're just beautiful, aren't they?
Yeah, well, it evens everything out. So when all of those came off the needles, I don't know if the viewers will remember, they were all quite wiggly
Yeah.
and quite sort of frilly. And the moment you put that block on it, everything just smooths and evens out really. So you get the symmetry, and yeah, the stitch definition is much more pleasing.
And I think the rank order was right. The judges,
Yeah,
they were being judged on their ability to follow a lace pattern and execute it perfectly. That must have been the easiest one for them to judge. They could probably get down to the nitty gritty and not worry about other aspects of design
yeah,
and whatnot. We're just marking on that lace work and have they followed the pattern. I loved it. I loved
yeah.
it. Want more of it.
Good. Yeah, it was a good episode, I thought.
Yeah.
It was satisfying the more technical knitter in me. It wasn't so much gaming, the game
Yes.
of wool the fun had been dialed back, but we got more
Yeah.
technique, and that was quite rewarding, I think.
Did you hum and ha who was going to get Big Knitter of the Week? Or did you kind of go, I know who's going to get it?
I thought I knew, and I was really hoping I was right, and I was right.
Yeah. Lydia,
Yeah.
Big Knitter of the Week. And yes, understandably so. The necklace was just, yeah, for that jewellery was phenomenal, wasn't it?
It's just fab.
We had to say goodbye then to Simon. But
Oh, Simon.
yeah,
What a ledge.
indeed.
Yeah.
But as you all know, if you didn't see and if you skipped on chapters, he went from us with his own little badge. I love it. I
His
love
own
it.
unravelled badge. Yeah. Thank you, Simon. It was
Oh,
just really, I really, and some of our viewers also commented they were really enjoying the banter between Simon and
yeah.
Holger, and that was a lovely part of the show for them. And just, um, I think we all appreciated Simon's warmth and friendliness, and bringing others out of their shell. Maybe I thought
He added
that
a
was,
lot to the dynamics of the group, I think.
yeah, he's a
Certainly
great
from,
person to have there.
yeah, from an
Yeah.
editor's point of view to give us something to watch.
Well, also
Well,
his story about being in Afghanistan
yeah.
and then on a building site, and there he is knitting metal jewelry. It's like this guy's really interesting.
And
He's got
And as Tom rightly said too, Lizzie, about breaking stereotypes. I know we're having issues with breaking stereotypes, but also reinforcing old ones. I know we've
yeah
got that with the judges and how they're being styled, if they're wearing those ones. Oh, well, we didn't talk about Di's headpiece. It's like Widow
yeah.
Twanky.
It's Three Little Maids, wasn't it? Three Little
Oh
Maids.
dear. Yes. But from that point of view, breaking stereotypes with Simon, it's like knitting is for anyone. It doesn't
It's for
matter. It's
anyone.
that stereotype of ladies knitting. It's everyone. Everyone is doing it for all ages
Yeah.
too.
Get
Right.
involved.
We are going to finish not with a prize because we're saving that now. We're having a week off because we saw the blocking being done. We're going to give out the posh Katia prize, and I'm just going to show. So next week, if you
I didn't know
comment,
about this.
I
What are
know.
we doing? What are we doing?
Let me show you this posh prize. Where's the desk cam? Your
Brand new
own
blocker?
blocker. Thank you, Katia. Get that in. Make sure. Yeah. This. Look how. Look, it's in a lovely box,
Oh, come on, what's inside?
and then you open it up.
Oh,
Look, and you have got
what's
your
this?
own blocking mat. And I'm going to have to. I should have prepped this before. Sorry, everyone. Now I'm going to rip this open. Look. If you're blocking your granny squares.
Oh, granny square.
Look,
Okay.
this is beautiful wood.
That is a
And
serious piece of kit.
yeah, and then look, you get this cool little. Oh, I'm not even going to get into this. Oh, Stuart, you really
Has
should.
it got the little pins?
It's got these great pins. Can I get in? Hang on, everyone. There we go.
I've just for my blocking, I've just got I just bought those kids play mat tile things
Oh yes,
because
yeah.
you can buy bespoke, supposedly special knitters tiles that
Oh
like big jigsaw pieces,
yeah, that's right.
and they're
But
so
they
expensive. And
are.
I just bought myself a like a kids play mat.
Yeah,
It just does the job beautifully.
yeah.
So
I've used my old kit mat from when I used to do D of E. The kit mat that you put under your sleeping bag. It's the same thing, or a
the
yoga
roll mat,
mat. But there you go.
yes.
And then you would
Oh, that's
whatever
good.
size your granny square is, if it's a 4 inch or 5 inch, you would then place it over, lay your granny square down, spritz it with water or
It's
wash it, put it down, and then you can stack them each time you block them.
That's very clever.
Yeah,
Oh yeah, very
we are
nice. Like
giving
it.
away 5 of these next week.
Oh, you lucky
5.
people.
So
Stuart, are we giving a special question or are we going to just do spin the wheel?
no, we're just going to do spin the wheel
Spin
because
the
we've
wheel.
done it all season.
Yeah.
We want to thank our viewers for coming
Yes, we
back each
do.
week,
Yes.
and we don't need to test their ability. We just need to thank them by putting the spinning the wheel in because they left a comment. Simple as that. And we love reading your comments. So let us know. Did you like those 2 style challenges? Did you want a team challenge? Did you want a better team challenge, even though they had 5? What did you think of the way they dealt with that team challenge? Let us
Well,
know.
also, what was the whoops? What was your take on the sort of clowning around aspect was a bit lighter this week, but
Yeah.
we had more serious,
Yeah.
refined approaches. What did you think of all that? Did you like it, or do you miss the element of larking about? What do you think?
Absolutely. It will be fascinating to see. So let us know in the comments, and then we'll see you for the semi-final. 2
Can't
weeks to
believe it.
go.
Amazing.
Isn't it good? Absolutely. And then it'll be the final. So see you next week, everyone. Look forward to it. Cheers,
Aw.
Lizzie.
Lots of love.
Bye.
Bye.